Welcome back to the first Windsor Wednesday show of the fall semester. So happy to be here with everyone and wishing everyone well in their upcoming fall semester. And for those watching, what is the Windsor Wednesday show? Each week we go live with a faculty or staff member, an alumnus, and a student to share the University of Windsor story, provide advice to incoming students, and I'm so excited to welcome the guests on the show today. In the top right, we have Sandra Riccio-Muglia. She's the Director of Events and Programming for the Student Center. Glad to have her on the show. Tianna Beharriell down below. She is an alumnus of the Bachelor of Human Kinetics program and is recently and currently completing her PhD at the University of Ottawa. Glad to have you on the show today, Tianna. And in the bottom right, we have Devon Fraser. Devon Fraser is a fourth-year history student, and she's majoring in history with a minor in English. She's also an outstanding scholars research assistant and involved with so many other different groups on campus. So for those watching, we do have a couple of giveaways that are happening right now. For those watching, please post a photo with your University of Windsor gear, tag UWindsor, tag UWin Student Experience, and also UWindsor alumni, and use the hashtag Windsor Wednesday for a chance to win $100 Amazon gift card. And then also we're doing another promotion right now for the bookstore. So if you post and check out our post on social media, you'll receive a 15% off coupon for the bookstore. So definitely check that out. Recommend checking it out. And today we'll get into the conversation. So Devon, I'm curious to know, what are you currently researching on the Outstanding Scholars Program? If you could tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. Well, first off, I'd just like to thank you for having me in this in the show. I really appreciate the opportunity. So I'm currently working with Dr. Heidi Jacobs at Lady Library. Our project that we're working on right now, we're focusing on the Chatham Colored All-Stars. They're a Black baseball team from the Chatham area. They were the first Black team to win the Ontario Provincial Championships in 1934. So what we're really trying to do with our project is to highlight this team and sort of the struggles that the members had to face and really how talented all these players were. But unfortunately, they weren't able to get any sort of real success in the major leagues due to racism and segregation. And so currently I'm working on digitizing some family scrapbooks of some of the players. So like some old newspaper articles or family photos, that sort of thing. And we're also doing other projects associated with just race and sports and local history in general. For example, we're currently finishing up a film called The North Was Our Cannon, which is about the Underground Railroad and its connection to Sandwich.
That's extremely interesting. And I have to ask, how are you conducting some of the research, Devon?
Well, a lot of the research that we're doing is in conjunction with the family members of the players.
Wow.
Or we'll do interviews with people who knew the players or other researchers who are involved in this field.
So is it a lot you're like, are you doing the research from home? Are you just like on the computer? Or are you doing some outside research where you're connecting with those individuals?
It's a lot of different things. I personally haven't done any of the interviews with family members. I'm kind of working on like older resources that the team has done in previous years and sort of working from those. But I have done a lot of the work I've done has been from home, where my professor will send me different articles or like different Dropbox of like a huge massive files that they've digitized from the family scrapbooks. I also have been involved with working in the archives to actually scan in and digitize some different objects and articles that we've used in some of our films, such as like some old books or photographs or images, things like that.
Wow, no, it's very interesting that it's taking place at a local level, and it's the local research that you're doing. I'm glad you're able to share that with us. Now, Sandra, I'm curious to know, recently the CAW Student Center, and unfortunately students aren't able to get in there fully throughout the year because of COVID-19, but there's so many great renovations that took place. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's taking place at the CAW Student Center?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want to commend you because you actually said my name perfectly. That's a tough name to say. So in terms of the Student Center, you know, it's it's going through its renovations. We've been waiting a long time for it. We're super excited. So it feels like it's a little bit of a surprise to me every time I go, because I don't go to work very often, but I do check in every so often. So when I go in there, I'm kind of peeking through some windows and seeing how the transition is happening. And I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be super exciting when students do return. But some of the things that are included are like the new flooring, new seating, an open concept to like the marketplace, just a total refresh, right? So we want to be able to host events in the atrium part, like in the commons area, that's going to be open, where you can possibly see it even from the back. So that's all going to be taking place. And it's the perfect time really to start doing these renovations with students not there. So when they do come back, it's even going to be that much more exciting to see to some people, a brand new building, and to others who are returning, something completely refreshed. So even through its renovations, it has been open for just the services itself by appointment. So it's really important that we note that the center is still fully capable of hosting, or not hosting, but like being open for the services for the students. So that they know that if they need to get to the food pantry, or for counseling services, or health services, chiro, dentist, like all those services are still open for our students. And as we keep transitioning to the opening, hopefully, which will be, who knows, but somewhat soon, we're just going to keep pushing through.
It's exciting. And what do you think students will benefit most from this new renovation and this new space?
I think even the open concept a bit will be really nice. The new seating, the updated Wi-Fi, like we know that's always been, like we were talking about, like a lot of students taking part or being in the center all the time, right? So the Wi-Fi is constantly being used, and it can be slow at times. So we're updating the Wi-Fi as well. The charging stations are going to be part of the tables as well. So we're just we've listened, right? The most part is that, the committee has listened to what the students' needs are. And we know that we're the main student hub on campus. So we're just trying to make those changes based on the student requirements and their needs. And that's constantly evolving. And we're doing our best to cater to those needs of the students. So
awesome. It's so exciting. I personally can't wait to get in there. And I think so many of my other peers, and I imagine Devon's super excited to check out the new space. It's going to be great. Thanks for sharing, Sandra.
Of course.
So Tianna, let's talk a little bit about your time as a student here at the University of Windsor in HK. What are some ways that you got involved throughout your university?
Sure. So right from the beginning, I had the opportunity to be a part of the varsity community on the cross country and track team. So I think that was a really formative kind of experience. I'm a firm believer in like getting involved in sports and how sports kind of benefits not only socially, but it just gives you something else to feel like you're part of a community. And then aside from that, I also was part of the Kin 1 program in kinesiology. So that's kind of a mentoring program for upper year students to work with a group of 10 to 15 incoming first year students. And you basically just kind of work with them throughout the year so that they feel like they have someone to go to, whether it be about academics, any kind of like personal life, transition from high school to university. So I think getting involved in that, not only as like a participant in my first year, but later on, I did that for my third and fourth years. So I think that was really a really cool experience to have.
Fantastic. And so from the KIN program, what were some skills that you learned from being involved with that?
For the Kin 1 program, or just Kin in general?
Kin 1.
Kin 1. Okay. Well, I think that was really what I kind of started to realize that I really enjoyed doing some kind of mentoring. I enjoyed speaking about my experience, and like, I think it's easy to downplay the fact that, oh, we've been through this and, it's not that important. It doesn't make that much of a difference if, I'm speaking to someone else about my experience. But I think even though everyone's experience is a little bit different, there's still common ground that you can kind of relate to people on that. Oh, we lost
awesome.
Lyndon.
Yes, I'm back. But yes, no, that's great that you're able to learn more about mentorship and be a leader to these students after participating in the program and now leading it. So thank you, Tianna.
Yeah.
So Sandra, I want to flip over to you, and Student Center is looking different this year, but I know there's so many great events that are going to be taking place or in the queue, especially partnered with UWSA, Opus, or GSS. What are some events that are coming up this semester that students can look forward to?
Question, we're going to continue with doing as many events possible, but we're trying to do the most obviously online. That's really what we're following the guidelines of just trying to mitigating risk for students and keeping them off campus and doing everything we can virtually. And the Student Center has already started to do that, even start back in April. We didn't have a social media platform on Instagram, and we're trying to connect to students that way. We opened up a Twitch account to do some live feeds there. The UWSA, Opus, GSS, Student Experience, everybody, collaboratively, anyone in the center has been working towards doing events, obviously everything online. They have a great calendar that we're featuring. So what the Student Center is going to probably look towards doing is, obviously we have to take it little by little, right? We can't pre-plan too much in advance because it's changing. Everything is constantly changing. Everything's constantly evolving. So everything that we used to do in person, we're going to try to do online now. So like even our 80s day, as exciting as that was, we're going to put that virtually online. So do 80s trivia, and 80s talent, and just things like that you're going to look forward to. We have virtual 5Ks coming, small outreach to resident students that we can still offer them. So we're still very much active online, small in-person giveaways to residents, a lot of giveaways online. And the way we look at it is, if you were coming into the center, we were obviously featuring so many events for free anyways for the students. So now we're just doing a lot of geared events and giveaways to them on our social media platforms. And I'm not just coming up with these giveaways. We're asking students a lot of questions. I've polled students many times. I've been asking them what the things they need through our campaigns, whether we're doing a poll for prizing or a Dormify Your campaign or Dormify Your space, which we're doing right now. These are directly from the students that are saying, hey, we need this to help us in this moment right now. And that's really how we're focusing and how we're going through and how we're pushing forward at this point.
Definitely sounds like a busy fall semester, and it's been great to see that you're pivoting towards just all online, because it is probably the safest way right now. And Sandra, this is a random question here, but what has been one of your top events that you've been involved with while you're at the university?
That's a loaded question. I mean, I love the concerts. I do. I love taking part of that with the UWSA. The tents are always exciting. Welcome Week's always exciting. For the Student Center, Skate the Date is always great. 80s is really good too. All them, I really honestly, the things I love the most are anything that we can collaborate with campus partners, because it's just such a team effort, and it's one thing if we come up with an idea, we want to put it, but it's another thing when everybody can come together and see what this small thing has just become that now. And it's such a great participation across the board, and anything with those bigger events is a big team effort. And those are the ones that I truly love the most. But no matter what event it is, it's the energy that the students bring. That's what I love the most, really.
Thank you, Sandra. I love it. Devon, so you were an exchange student and you spent about a year in Swansea, Wales. What was the highlight of your experience there, being away from campus and studying abroad?
Okay, well, honestly, I'd have to pick two different things, because honestly, the experience is so amazing. I can't pick just one thing. So for my first one, I'd say, because over the Christmas holidays, I was able to do a 2-week vacation through Europe, which was absolutely incredible, because I really hadn't been able to explore a lot of that area. And being able to spend Christmas Day in Vatican City and seeing the Pope's Christmas Day speech was absolutely incredible. And it's something I feel like I'll never be able to do again. And I just really enjoyed just seeing all those amazing places during my trip, like over the holidays, well, at Christmas markets, and be able to go up in some of the mountains, and some people in our group had never seen snow. It was just a wonderful experience. It's just a really good time overall. say for my second thing, because the main reason I chose Swansea University was because they had an Egyptology program, and I've always loved that field of history. And so while I was there, I volunteered at the Egypt Center, which was an Egyptian museum on campus. And just being able to volunteer there was so amazing because I was able to meet so many people from the UK, and also there was people there from Canada who decided to study at Swansea because of their program. And just being able to learn all these new things about this period of history that I love so much, and all these new skills. Like for example, I was able to learn how to properly handle artifacts, and how to actually show them to the public and explain all about them and things like that. So I feel like it's just a lot of interesting skills that I was able to learn during my experience that have really helped me just overall and might help me in my future career.
Wow, I'm so jealous. Would you recommend that all students take exchange?
Oh yeah, I definitely would. I feel like exchange is a once in a lifetime opportunity that really, because while you're in university, you don't have a lot of responsibilities. Most people don't have a part-time job or a spouse or a home, anything like that. And so really, I feel like this is really the one time in your life where you can go and spend up to almost a year, in a foreign country, and just learn about a completely different location, a new culture, and just travel as many places as you can. So yes, I feel like everyone should go on exchange.
All right, you've heard it there from Devon. Definitely recommend checking out the student exchange program. Thank you for sharing. Tianna, I'm interested to know who had a really positive impact on you throughout your undergrad. If you could even name a couple people and why.
Sure. It's a tough question. I don't want anyone to get mad if I forget them. But I kind of see it as there's two kind of sides to my undergrad experience. The sports side, so obviously my coaches, Anna Patterson, Dennis Farrell, and the late Gary Malloy. I think they were just such great mentors for life and developing me into the person that I am today. But I think also academically, I got involved in research just after my first year and spent every summer doing research in the occupational ergonomics lab. So Dr. Joel Court was like a fantastic mentor through that whole experience. And him, Kevin Milne, and a few other HK profs, because it is very much a small family. I think just having people believe in me and kind of push me to be the best that I could be, that was definitely the most impactful part of my experience at Windsor.
Awesome. Now, Tianna, for many students, it can be difficult to reach out to professors and have that mentor. What were some ways that you were able to connect with those individuals?
Sure. So the KIN program is very much an open door kind of policy throughout the whole department. So really, when I got into the ergonomics program, it was because I had applied to a co-op job, hadn't tried ergonomics before. And then the coordinator, Chad Sutherland, had actually recommended that I go speak to Joel Court, who took a chance on me. I had never taken a class before. He didn't know me at all. So I think I kind of got very lucky that way, but it's also very easy to go drop by if you know you're interested in a class and you maybe think that, oh, I'd get along very well with that professor. So even just starting a conversation after class, I think that kind of, it's those moments that you don't mean to be as impactful as they are, those impromptu kind of conversations that kind of lead to some great opportunities.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that advice to students who may be a bit nervous to reach out and to connect with a professor. That's a great way to get involved and get your name out there and build relationships.
Yeah, because they're just people at the end of the day.
It is. It truly is. And now going on to my favorite question of the day, why are you UWin Proud? We'll start with you, Sandra.
There's just so many reasons. I mean, I'm proud to be part of this area. I think I think it really I woke up mainly, I think, when obviously through the whole COVID situation. Like I was just saying the other day, March 7th, here we are on Saturday, working an open house to thousands of students, potential students and their parents, right? And 6 days later, we're at home. And the fact that we were able to, as an institution, as a whole, continue to push forward and never even blink and just keep going and focusing on this, what the students' needs are and how we're going to just transition online completely positive. is something huge. It's something huge to be proud of, because it's a thrive or dive sort of environment right now with a lot of companies. And we never even once looked back. It was just like, this is the situation we're dealing with and how are we going to move forward? And that's it. So that's a lot. And, we have edge, and that nothing's going to stop us. And we're just going to keep pushing forward, and we're going to be leaders. So that's every reason to be proud.
I love it, Sandra. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Tianna, what are some reasons that you're proud to graduate from the University of Windsor?
So I think both Devon and Sandra also kind of touched on this as well, but I think I can sum it up by saying the sense of community at U Windsor, and that's not something that you get at a lot of campuses. It's really great to be a part of something that everyone kind of is looking out for each other. Everyone's being supportive of each other. There's so many collaborations going on between departments, between different faculties. And I think that's really, really cool to see how many people come together to make everyone's experience so great. Everyone feels like a person. Everyone feels like they're respected as a person and not just a number, which is kind of an issue at some larger institutions. So I think that's really a really special and unique part of U Windsor.
Amazing. I'm glad that's a reason why it's been such a pride to leave the school and graduate from the school, and how it's impacted you. And Devon, leading off with you, why are you proud to be a University of Windsor student?
Well, I'm going to say, in kind of a similar vein, just the amount of opportunities that I've been able to, that I've been given and that I've been able to find at this university. I mean, from being able to volunteer with LEAD and the History Student Association, to all the great relationships I made with my professors and the people that I've met, some of them who I know I'm going to be friends with for life. But then, and again, my absolutely incredible exchange experience. But I really have to say, being able to work with Dr. Heidi Jacobs, to almost have her as a mentor, and really learning from her and learning how the whole process of working as a librarian kind of works, I've really been able to decide that that's what I want to do for my career. Since when I first started as a double major for history and English, I really wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to do with my career. But I feel like now being able, having that opportunity to work with Dr. Jacobs through Outstanding Scholars has really shown me exactly what I can do.
Amazing, amazing. I'm glad that we all have this sense of pride, and the University of Windsor has had a positive impact on all of us, and we're so grateful for it. So to wrap up today's conversation, we do have a couple giveaways to announce. So in a second here, we're going to have some giveaways winners pop up in the comments. But there's 5 U Windsor Proud prize packs that had a bunch of different swag, and there are going to be some winners that we're going to announce in just a second here. If we could have a virtual drum roll. Here we go, almost there. All right, so congratulations to Alyssa Haskell, Lily Zito, Ronaldo Agostino, Abby Hildebrand, and Khadija Khalid on winning great prize packs with a bunch of different swag in there that you can rep from home, post it online throughout the school year. So congrats to all who participated. And for those students that are heading back into school for fall semester tomorrow, I wish you all the best. And to the great guests that were on the show today, thank you for your time. We'll see you next time.